Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I'm gonna talk about a topic that if you are on the internet you have probably seen it 1,000 times already. If you are a visitor of Reddit, if you are on many of the like FGC websites, forums, a ton of YouTube videos were already done on this, and it is the age-old topic of how do you get good at fighting games, or at least how do you get better. And I feel like the topic is very relevant these days. If you are watching these videos, then chances are you are following the FGC scene in general, right? And you have probably heard of the Annihilator Cub event. It was an event that was done by AT&T, where they got a number of the big Twitch streamers, and they had them compete in tournaments for mini games, and one of these games was Street Fighter V. And there is a very famous Twitter clip where one of the Twitch streamers was really complaining about like how difficult fighting games are and how much skill it takes to get good at them. And obviously this got a ton of discourse and a ton of talk in the fighting game community in general. Now I feel like in the fighting game community we are kinda detached from how hard the casual find it to be, but in all honesty, to get good at fighting games, I don't really think you can be that special. Like, you don't have to be that special. I really think anyone can do it. The question is, are you motivated enough to be able to do that? Because I think fighting games, just like any talent really or any skill, it's just about practice, right? If you practice and stick with it, you will see results. Now, a lot of the modern fighting games have taken very drastic steps toward making the game easier, right? They want to make it feel more rewarding, give you that instant gratification, very cinematic, flashy super moves, easy input, and obviously the counter that you get to see in Guilty Gear Strive, where now you do the big combo. You know how it is, right? And we got like one button specials, auto combos. A lot of games, like for example Tekken, have new characters that are very streamlined and very easy. Pretty much the devs are trying very hard to make the games easy to pick up for anyone. And one of the main issues with fighting games, I feel, is that it's very hard to measure your progress, right? It's very hard to see how good you have gotten. Unfortunately, for many games, it will mostly come down to the logo that you will see next to your gamer tag or your gamer ID, right? Like, what is your league? What is your rank now? And unfortunately, I feel like the biggest number of the player base are actually kind of trapped in this dreaded ranked match cycle, right? Where they see themselves, they see their worth by their rank, which is quite unfortunate. Now I'm gonna bore you a little bit with some academic studies, and I will get to the point, but listen to me because this is a very fascinating study in my opinion. This was done at Columbia University, and in that study they took a number of 5th graders, right? And they had them perform puzzles, right? And they gave everyone good grades, so whether you performed well or not in the puzzles, they gave you good grades. And they split the kids into 2 groups, right? One group was told that they got good grades because they worked really hard. The other group got told that they got the good grades because they are very smart and gifted, right? And then for the next step, they introduced a number of puzzles for the students. They gave them easy puzzle, medium puzzles, and hard puzzles, and they let them choose which one they would like to perform, right? And the interesting thing here is that the students that got told that they were gifted and talented, they mostly chose the easy puzzles, and they found the whole process kind of boring, right? Because they were easy, they didn't really struggle that much with it, they found it easy. But the others who got told that they got good grades because they worked hard, they ended up picking the harder puzzles, and they enjoyed their time trying to figure out the puzzle and ended up having a lot of fun and loving the experience. So you might be wondering, Mura, like, what is the point of all of this? Why are you telling me all of this nonsense? The point is, it doesn't matter how much the game tries to make you feel about yourself, right? If the game is trying its hardest to make you feel good, as long as you don't feel like you the player, are the one who is in control of your action and of your progress, you will not really feel motivated, right? It's just like life, right? If you feel like you're controlling your life, if you feel like your outcome is a result, is a result outcome of your action, then you will be motivated. And unfortunately, this applies to losses as well, right? So this applies to wins and losses. When you lose, if you feel like you lost due to circumstances that were outside of your control, like for example lag, right? Like the match just got disconnected. Maybe some players will feel like balancing is a factor that is outside of their control. If you feel that way, it's easy to lose motivation, and I feel like that is the most common reason that people simply don't stay motivated enough to play fighting games, right? They focus on the elements that they feel are outside of their control. But if you try to focus on the elements that you can control, that the actions that you can do as a player that will have a direct result in the game, you will always find the motivation to get better. For example, a lot of the games, a lot of the modern fighting games will let you practice in training mode as you are waiting for new matches, right? So maybe try to practice a new combo, try to practice a new setup, a new meaty, a punish for a certain character or a certain sequence, right? And eventually, with enough practice, you will be able to land this in matches, and trust me, this feels great. The first time that you feel like you got rewarded for the effort that you put in, it will feel great, right? And obviously, even if you're not able to do it in matches yet and you feel like I keep doing everything in training mode but I can't get it in matches, trust me, eventually you will, and you will see yourself becoming more and more consistent with a certain setup, sequence, or whatever you're doing in training mode. It just takes time. And honestly, it's just like any martial art or sport, really. You will find yourself getting better with the day, the more that you stick with it. And that is pretty much fighting games. Honestly, it's 1v1, no excuses, no tricks, and trust me, the ability to overcome the opponent, the ability to overcome the challenge that you wanted to, the satisfaction of being able to do that, that is what I find very satisfying about fighting games. It's not about being hard, or not about being easy, it's not about how good or bad you are, it's about setting goals for yourselves, being in control of your actions, and seeing the results. And I think with that, anyone can be really good. Just give yourself some time and you will enjoy the process. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing. Do you think it's a matter of just the games being good or bad, hard or easy? Or like I see it myself, it's just about the motivation to be good? I will be leaving the link to the Discord, Patreon, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.